I want you guys to get really, really clear with me right now. What proof do we need to sell a prospect? What would sell a customer for you in the niche that you picked out? How many phone calls in what time frame? And I'm going to help you guys get that in the next 7 to 10 days.
Welcome to Show Me the Nuggets, where each week Joe chats with world-class entrepreneurs to find out the key principles, strategies, and processes that lie behind their outstanding achievements. Now, your host, the no-bullshit serial entrepreneur, Joe Troyer.
So next up is proof. I hear a lot of people bitch and moan and complain about proof, right? They come into this agency and they get stuck. They map out everything that I've taken you guys through. They get to the point where they're ready to start actually selling prospects. And the first time they get pushback, show me who you've done this before with, right? Show me results that you've obtained in the past. They immediately shut down, or they don't even start prospecting and they shut down. And this could be you. We're going to get over that here today. And I'm going to show you guys how to get proof in the next 7 days for your agency. How many of you guys, if I could help you get proof and results and testimonials in the next 7 days for your agency, you think that that would catapult you right now? That one freaking thing. Is that good stuff? Yeah. All right. So first, let's start and let's get really clear on what kind of proof we want. Okay. So I'm asking you guys, what kind of proof do you want? What's the holy grail? What would be amazing? Rankings, calls, increase in business rankings from similar businesses? Yeah. So again, stay niche specific, but let's say that we're doing this whole local thing. We're doing our monthly local SEO service, right? So what people want to see is relatable results. And really, when we think about results, would you guys agree that all that matters is that you can prove that people are getting phone calls from marketing? Right? Like, hey, this guy's ranking in Google Maps and I helped him, and this guy is getting 100 calls a month from Google Maps. Would that sell a prospect for you? I want you guys to get really, really clear with me right now. What proof do we need to sell a prospect? What would sell a customer for you in the niche that you picked out? How many phone calls in what time frame? And I'm going to help you guys get that in the next 7 to 10 days. A handful a day. You guys would agree that a handful of calls a day would prove that we're from, let's say, Google Maps, would be all the proof that you would need. 5 phone calls a day. How many of you guys have heard of the 80-20 principle? 20% of your actions account for 80% of the results, right? That applies to like everything. I am freaking convinced, but it's actually much deeper than that. And if you haven't heard this, go look it up. And if you have heard this before, I'm going to add another layer. If you actually apply that principle to itself, it comes out to 64-4. 64% of your results come from 4% of your efforts. Dude, 80-20, when I first heard it, was like mind blown. 64-4 though, when you apply 80-20 to itself, that's freaking nuts. I can get 64% of the results for 4% of the work. That's working smart, right? So let's think about 64-4. How do we get 5 phone calls a day as proof coming from Google Maps as fast as humanly possible right now, assuming you are at where you are at now? How do you get, let's say, 3 case studies that show 5 phone calls per day from Google Maps? You guys just told me that that's all that matters, right? And that would basically sell your deals for you. So what's the 64-4? How do we do this? Let's put away all the junk. Let's put away all the bullshit. Let's put away all the shiny objects. How do we do this as fast as possible in the next 7 to 10 days? How do we do this? How do we show it? This is going to help so many of you guys freaking explode if you just take this and run with it. Think about what matters, right? It's that 4%. All right, guys. What I would do, offer a foot in the door. 30 days, you'll track GMB phone calls. You'll set up call tracking and run it for them for 30 days. Oh, free. So our approach is going to be, we're going to go after the targeting and the ideal prospects that we want in the niche that we want, okay, that are spending money on advertising. And finally, folks that are ranking in maps. Does that make sense? Guys, we are all overcomplicating the crap out of everything. And it's because we're looking at our agency like this every day. And it's like, oh, Joe sent me an email and I'm going to come on a webinar. Oh, hey, how's it going, Mr. Troyer? It's all too close. We got to step out and think about what matters. This is why, folks, at the end of the day, this is why masterminds and coaching is so important, right? Having somebody on the outside looking at your business, giving you guidance, right? This has made all the difference in my business in the world. And this is why I've committed to doing all of these free content that I give out. Joe More Value Troyer is to help you guys make that next step and to help you guys figure out what's holding you guys back. So, but don't they know they're already getting calls from GMB? I talk to so many people, they have no idea, right? And if they do think that they're getting it, they have no idea how many calls they're getting from GMB, okay? I would imagine most of the markets that you speak with, 90% of your ideal prospects aren't tracking calls from GMB. Is that a big enough pool, yes or no, to go sell to? Is that the proof that you need? Yeah, even if they're already ranking. I have a tutorial on the channel and on the Digital Triggers blog that shows you guys exactly how to implement call tracking into Google My Business. In fact, if you look up on Google, probably just search for Google My Business call tracking or setting up call tracking with Google My Business, you'll see me ranking, walk you guys step by step through the process. For you guys to be an expert, folks, that's all you really need. And if it's niche specific, it's even easier. You need less testimonials, you need less results, and they go further with the prospect that you have.
Thanks for tuning in and showing me the nuggets. If you've been enjoying the podcast and find our content helpful, please visit our Apple Podcast page, hit the subscribe button, and leave us a review. Joe and the whole team have been working hard to bring more value to the show. Your feedback will go a long way in helping us make the show better and reach a wider audience.